everyone, this is Yoyo. Welcome back to our channel.
Hello, and I'm Linda, and this is a channel where we share about property, information and knowledge, and about an investment mindset. So Yoyo, I think this is a really interesting topic today, and one that I really want to clarify with your high level of expertise.
Thanks, Linda. I will try my best to answer all your questions.
Personally, I've had people tell me, don't buy an apartment because they don't make money. Buy a house and land instead because they have better capital growth. What is your experience with apartments, and can they make money for me?
Yes, Linda, I have some experience with apartments which I'm going to share with you later on in this video. In terms of making money, I think there are two important components. First, we're going to look at the rental yield. As an investor, a higher rental yield seems better because it usually generates steady and positive cash flow, which means it not only allows us to hold the property over the time, but also it helps us accumulate the savings or deposit for our next property. Second, capital growth, which is also very important. It means how much value is going to grow over the years and how much equity you can use to further invest or do whatever you want.
Okay, so I know that for rental yield, the percentage is generally better for apartments than it is for houses. But for capital growth, we don't usually see capital growth for apartments. But as an investor, I actually want both things. So can apartments actually make me money? And why do people always tell me don't buy an apartment?
Linda, let's just assume if you were to buy one property only for the rest of your life, I would say buy a house. Why? Even though it is not always the case, okay? But just generally speaking, houses give you a better and faster growth over the same period as long as the houses are located in the metropolis city, not in the middle of nowhere. However, let's not say that all the apartments are bad and not will grow in value. I actually know someone who bought apartments in Sydney that doubled in value within 10 years. And I also knew some friend who bought an apartment in Brisbane and they twisted it into a very unique one and sold it for $500,000 profit in less than 3 years. I'm not an apartment advocate, but as a Generation Y myself, or future generation like my sons, or even baby boomers like my parents, I already knew that a lot of them would prefer to live in the city, play in the city, and work in the city, or at least closer to city for the convenience and the lifestyle. So think forward, there is always demand for apartments from different demographic, regardless we like it or not. So I guess it's very important to know where you buy, when you buy, and what do you buy to make it all work.
Okay, so how do I find an apartment that will make me money? And how do I know what is a good apartment to buy?
Good questions, Linda. We make money not when selling the property, we make money when buying the property. If you haven't watched our previous video regarding 3 golden rules on selecting properties, here is the link above to check it out, which these principles also applies to how to select good apartments. First, supply versus demand, which are always the fundamentals. Population growth, infrastructure spending, employment opportunities. These 3 elements drive the demand. When the market attracts more demand, the price and the rent will go up. Tips: check the population in ABS or RP data. You will be surprised that the population in some areas is decreasing. So be careful with those areas. Why people are moving out. Second, homeowners versus investors. When more homeowners are willing to move into the suburb, it is a good sign for capital growth. Because homeowners normally hold the property value very strong as they care much more about their property and the living environment, etc. Tips: high-density apartments tend to attract more investors, which creates resale and leasing issues because of the high competition. Third, scarcity. What does that mean? It means that your property has something very unique while others don't. For instance, your property has a great unblocked views. It has walking distance to school, shop, and park, etc. Or it has a great value, unbeatable price. Tips: always think backwards. Find the unique selling point before you buy the property. Fourth, value. It's more than just a price. Especially when we talk about the apartment, we need to consider the whole package. For instance, the size, the view, the floor plan, the quality of finishes, the facility, the body corp rate, per square meter rate, density, the community of body corp, the experience of the on-site manager, etc., etc. When we compare with other buildings, those things we all need to take into consideration. Tips: talk to the local agent, the buyer, the banker, the residents who live there. Their feedback kind of reflect the property market. Last but not least, timing. The apartment we sold for loss was because we bought it at the peak and we sold it at the bottom with an urgent sale. There is also another apartment made almost $100,000 profit in just a bit over 3 years. Tips: fully understand and be educated about apartment market, as apartment also has its own cycle. Once again, every property type has its own pros and cons. There's just no one strategy that can suit everyone's needs.
Okay, that's really valuable information, Yoyo. Thanks so much. That makes me feel really informed if I were to decide to buy an apartment. Recently, we got approached by an apartment development in the Gold Coast, and it's so exciting because that actually captures so many of the features that you were talking about.
Stay tuned, guys. The next video will cover tremendously valuable information about Gold Coast market, off-market project, the secret phone calls, and the interview with local buyer agent and valuers, etc. I would love to hear from your feedback. So stay tuned, guys. I will see you next time. Bye.